What's up, party people? It's Chris with ProPhoto, and welcome to Geared Up. This is our weekly live broadcast where we talk about gear, lighting techniques, just generally have fun with photography. So you can ask questions, you can participate, just let me know what you want to talk about. If you're watching this on ProPhoto.com, you're probably going to see some stuff pop up. It depends on if you're using like a phone or your computer or whatever, but you're going to see like the stuff that we're talking about. Like, so when I say RFI 3x4, an RFI 3x4 is probably going to pop up. And so if you want some more information on that softbox while we're talking, it'll minimize me and you can read up on that thing if you want to. If you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, that's not going to happen, and that's cool. If you want that to happen, check it on ProPhoto.com. If you don't care, sweet. Hang out with us right here because we're monitoring the chat on both Facebook and on YouTube. So if you have any questions, drop them there as well, and we're having a good time. So that being said, what are we talking about today? Today, we're diving into short and broad lighting. We're gonna be talking about why you'd use it, where you'd use it, what makes it useful, what the heck it even is, and we're gonna take some photos with Kate because Kate's awesome and she's here, as usual, crushing the controls. So let's get into it. So short and broad light are, I consider them, the way that I have the lighting set up right now, this gigantic 3x4 is like about to stab me in the head, so I'm gonna back up a little bit. So the short and broad light I call lighting techniques. Some people refer to them as lighting patterns, but I don't necessarily think they're a lighting pattern because you can have patterns within short and broad lighting, so it doesn't necessarily make sense as far as like what you call it. I mean, it doesn't really matter what you call it, but just you're gonna hear me refer to them as lighting techniques. So your patterns are things like butterfly light, split light, Rembrandt, all that good stuff. And you can have, like, if you think about Rembrandt light, that's a short light for the most part, at least the way that you see it used a lot of the times. So short and broad lighting are more of a technique. So your broad light is when your light and your camera are on the same side of the subject, right? So you're lighting the broad side of your subject. It's really, really good for reflections of like glasses or sunglasses, which Kate's got some sunglasses, so we'll show you that as well. So broad lighting is really good about getting that light reflection out of the shot because it has a lot to do with something called angle of incidence, and because you are kind of faced generally away from the light, so it's lighting the broad part of your face, you're not getting the light that's hitting the glasses is going that way and not back towards the camera. So that's kind of how the angle of incidence things works. We'll dive into that deeper in another day. And then it's also really good for, if you have a thinner subject or something like that and you want to make them look a little bit wider. Broad light's really good at doing that because the more light on the subject, the more light you see, the more it kind of widens out the person. On the inverse of that, my favorite type of lighting, because I'm a little bit rounder, if you will, would be short light. So short light is really good for taking a subject and making them appear a little bit thinner because you're shooting the shadow side of the subject. So to get your light to short light, your camera is going to be on the opposite side of your subject from where the light's coming from, because you're lighting the shadow side of the subject and there's some light coming from the other side. So, and because of that, because the shadow is there, shadows kind of make things, they hide things, they make them disappear. It's generally why I wear all black, because it hides my insecurities and my sadness. So your short light's going to do a really, really great job of slimming people down if that's what you need for that shot. It's also, short light's a lot more dramatic. So if you're looking to have something a little darker, a little moodier, short light's a great way of doing that. So it's a really, really cool lighting setup. So how are we set up today for photos? Let's talk about that right now. So I have a 3-light setup going on, and I'll explain all of that right now. So the first thing that you're gonna see, again, is the thing right gigantic in my face. This is an RFI 3x4 softbox with sitting on a ProPhoto D2. I just have that there. I really, in the studio, I like using D2s as my my fill lights, especially because I start using bigger soft boxes. I wanted to break out the 4x6 because that's my absolute favorite fill light that I have. It's a RFI 4x6 softbox, but I also wanted to be able to, have room to see you because it's a gigantic softbox. So So we went with a 3x4 on a D2. Again, D2 is like my favorite light to use with my my gigantic fill light softboxes. It's a dynamite flash. Again, on an R5 at 3x4. My 2 lights that I'm gonna be using to light Kate short and broad light and as a hair light are the Profoto A10s inside the Click softbox, which is kind of sick. So the Click Octas, if you will. Yeah, you can see them from the side shot. Yeah. So Click Octa here, Click Octa here, and what we're gonna do, so we're set up right now for broad light. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a photo of Kate with broad light, and then we're literally gonna take the lights and we're gonna do this. We're just gonna rotate them. And then that way, because my camera's not gonna move, my camera's over there, just so you guys can kind of see my camera. It's right here, back in the oh, nice, I'm back in the shadows. I'm back in the shadows. I'm here, I promise. But I'm right here behind the softbox in the corner. So you can kind of see my hand coming out. Woo, you're welcome, Sideshow Bob. Anyway, camera's back here in the corner. That's not gonna move. That's on a tripod, so rock and roll. So again, Click softbox Octas, those are gonna be our main and hair lights, and we're just gonna rotate them. So right now we're set up for broad light, and that's what we're gonna do momentarily. And then whenever we're done, we're just gonna take it and flip it. Camera's not gonna move, and we're gonna go from the light being on the same side as the camera for your broad light, like I said earlier, to the light being on the opposite side of my subject for short light. Really, really easy technique to set up. So yeah, let's do that. You ready to rock and roll, Kate?
Let's do this.
Cool. Hey to everybody out there. Andy and Indy, what's up, dude? Good to see you, brother. Cool. So, let's rock and roll. I have a really bad issue with like snagging this cable with a light stand, and it's like ripped out all my anchors. I've got to re-anchor the whole thing. I'm afraid that I'm gonna wind up messing this thing up. So,
all right, good.
Camera settings wise, we're shooting at f8, ISO 160, shutter speed of 1/250th of a second. That's just so I don't have any extra stuff infiltrating this shot. It'll look really, really nice. If you like that backdrop and you want to know where I got it, the lady right there painted it. That's hers. She's a woman of many talents. Cool. So let's go broad light. Let's go, so right here, and bring your nose this way just a skosh. There we go.
I don't know, I didn't fluff my hair.
Uh-oh, you gotta fluff the hair.
Okay.
We're taking a quick hair fluffing break.
Fluffage.
Hair fluffing break, yeah, the floof. Cool. And so here we go. Come back nose a little bit. There we go, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Beautiful broad light. So you can see that that light is lighting the broad side of her face right here. Okay, and the broad side of her body. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna take those lights and we're gonna flip them, and now we'll be lighting her from the other side. So if this, I don't think this light will get in the way, but it might.
I think the photos changed.
Did the photo not change? No,
I think I had one hand on my hip.
Hold on, let's see.
Am I crazy?
Maybe I've disconnected. Oh, there it goes.
Crazy,
it just loaded. It just loaded. There it goes. It just loaded.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So there it is. Actually, let's take one more shot. You're making a weird face.
Good.
I can't have you making weird faces.
All right.
All right.
Try better.
In this shot, I need you to fix your face.
Okay, fix your face.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's take one more for safety. 3, 2, 1.
I think you're saying I'm making another weird face.
I mean, I didn't say anything.
Did you hear?
I didn't say those weren't the words that came out of my mouth. Let's see. There they go. What's going on? My
It's just not tethering.
No, it's just loading really slow for some reason. I honestly bent up my I kicked my tether cable recently, and I kind of bent the USB-C portion of it, so I might have a shoddy cable, but whatever, we'll work with it.
We'll keep our eyes on it.
Yeah, we'll keep it.
Photos change.
So we're gonna bring this light here now for the short light. And I think the power needs to come up to that, I believe. And I believe that I have to do the inverse here. I think I have to drop this power down. And so just so you know, I'm flipping these lights around just so we don't completely lose Kate to the background. Because it is relatively, I mean, It looks more contrasty on the screen for you, and I actually had to pull my contrast way down in Capture One, so it didn't look as contrasty, and it's still really contrasty. So we don't want to lose our subject into the background, so that's why we're flipping the hair light around to where it goes to. So it still gives us some body line definition on Kate, while she's wearing a darker outfit, darker hat, and the background's darker. So let's go to a power of 8 here, just to explain kind of like why we're doing the light flip thing. So here we go. Can you take a tiny shift to your left? There you go. It was kind of cutting off your elbow. You don't have to do all that. Just the left shift. You're back in business now. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. So there we go. That's pretty cool. So let's take one more for fun. Come back nose to me a little bit. 3, 2, 1. Drop that left hand down. There we go. 3, 2, 1. Lovely. So cool.
Still not tethering.
Oh, yeah.
Or it's slow.
It's just being slow. Apparently, every time I go over here to the actual, there it goes. They came in there. So cool. You know, sometimes technology doesn't do what you want it to do. Cool. I gotcha. It's in.
Right.
Oh.
And she's gone.
Is that what was happening? Is my computer? Hold on a second. My computer might have just crashed on me. Let's see what happened. Let's bring this bad boy back up. So, really fun stuff. I'm trying to figure out what to banter with you about as I get my computer screen back up.
Let's check some questions.
Is anybody asking anything?
So we actually
Oh.
all the way down, except for this one. So
Can you?
let me flip you to the wide so they can see your face.
So Dan was asking, can I just have Kate rotate? Let me think, because if she's here, my camera's here. I mean, I could in theory have her rotate. Yeah, you can have the subject rotate. It's really just about having the light be on the same side and the opposite side of the subject that you're photographing. So if the light's here, you're here and I'm here. Oh, did we lose a bunch of stuff?
We lost the entire screen. You just have one cam.
All right, hang on a split second. Let's see what's going on.
Something unplugged.
Yeah, we must have pulled something that we didn't realize.
Guys.
Okay, hold on a second. I've got this.
Let's see what questions we have on.
Yeah, so Dan, I think, I believe that you could just rotate Kate and you'd be totally fine. Yeah, this is super weird. Okay, hold on a second.
What is the power for both? I guess she meant like A1s.
So I jog the power, but on the main, whenever the light's in the main light mode, they were both at a power level of 8. So power level of 8 whenever it went to be the main light. So when the broad light was here, and we were taking that shot, power level of 8, and I pulled it down to 7 whenever it went to the back. Same thing here. So this one was at 7, and then when I brought it forward, it's at 8. So, and that's just from me knowing kind of what we tested before. We generally try to test to make sure that we have everything set the right way on the whole setup. But let's see.
See if I have any other questions.
Yeah.
You can get that computer back up.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get this back up. If I can't, what I could do really fast is we can move it over here to this big computer and we can put it on the geared up screen.
That works.
Because my laptop is acting not very happy. So let's see. I'm gonna just give me a split second and I'm gonna see if I can force this thing to restart, or else my laptop just completely died on me in the middle of this thing and I had no idea. So.
Tis live and
Yep.
technology.
Love it. I might have to buy a new laptop. That's super fun. So, but we're gonna do, give me just a split sec. I'm gonna pull this up on the screen just so you can see it here. This might get a touch clunky for a second, but just bear with us.
Okay, so where am I?
No, so we're still go to the wide shot so they can at least kind of, or one of the super wide shots so they can at least see us like futzing around. So yeah, you don't want it totally blank. That'd be
Chris
weird.
will tap dance for you while we set up the screen.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So that's not what I wanted. I want that. Let's drop this down for a second.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure we can actually show you the difference between the two.
Yeah, you gotta see the pictures we took, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
important.
Our green screen we're going to bring down for a second.
Just don't mind all of this.
And then we'll set this back up before the show ends. And then let's open up Capture One here. Right there. Hang on one second. We're tap dancing.
Oh my God.
We are tap dancing. We are tap dancing. Let's get this thing going. We need to get to this hard drive and we need to get to, where's it at? Geared up, geared up, geared up.
Any other questions
Short broad.
while we're still futzing around?
Okay, cool. So we're gonna take this up to this screen here.
All right, we have something for you, friends.
So let's go back to multi-view. And so let's bring green screen up on the main thing. So I apologize for this. Again, my laptop totally just died out on me. So
okay, so cam 4.
Cam 4.
Okay, key on.
No, you can key on. Key on totally works. So let's do here. Let's put them side by side. Let's go to cam 4. I'm gonna go side by side with a broad and a short light. So cool.
There we go.
So you can see the differences between the two. So your broad light is going to, obviously light up more of the subject. You can see her head is turned. I kind of wanted to keep her, for the most part, her facing the same direction, just so you can see how the short and the broad light change the way that the image comes up, right? So you can see with the short light, there's a lot more shadow in the shot. It's a lot more dramatic of a shot, honestly. I love shooting short light. I prefer, of the two lights for myself personally, I prefer that short light look. I just also like to have a little bit more fill light in there like you're seeing on the shot to keep it from being too terribly contrasty. But the broad light shot looks beautiful. Most of it in part of the fact that, Kate's gorgeous. So it's a really, really lovely light either way, and all we had to do was just rotate the lights a little bit. So really, really easy stuff to do. Again, you know what we didn't do, and we have to do it with the broad light? Kate has some sunglasses. Let's, I can't take the picture anymore because hang on a split second. Let's see if we can get this thing to talk to my camera. We're gonna,
Kevin said, did you already answer this? I think the problem with just rotating the model is that you might just end up only broad lighting the other side of the model's face instead of changing to short light.
Possibly. Earlier, someone was asking if I could just take Kate and rotate her. Do you want to flip over so we can just talk for a second while we see if we can sort this out?
Guys.
No, you're fine. Let's go. Here we go. This is like a whole new cluster of things. Just turn the key off because you keyed it on.
And
boom, we're here. So earlier someone was asking if you could just take the shot, or if you could just take Kate and rotate her. Put her on a turntable, Lazy Susan, and spin her around.
I like that.
Yeah, Kayla, in case you were wondering, like a little quick sidebar. Kate, obsessed with Lazy Susans, buys way too many of them. But anyway, I digress. So they were asking if we could just take Kate and rotate her. There's a chance that you could wind up broad lighting both sides, but it really, as long as, again, you just think in your brain, am I on the same side of my subject as the light, or am I on the opposite side of my subject as the light? That's kind of the key to sorting out whether or not, whether or not you're short or broad lighting. So, in theory, we had Kate right here. And the light was here, and my camera's there. So if she's looking this way, if she's looking this way, my camera and light are on the same side. If I take her and rotate her like this, in theory, This would be a short light. It probably isn't as short going like this. I know, yeah, I was about to say my back's to the camera. In theory, this is short lighting because my camera's opposite of the subject is in between the light and the camera. So it'd probably work. There's probably just going to be more of the subject illuminated and less shadow for the short light. So let me see really fast up here on my Capture One.
Wait.
If my, no, I'm not going to switch. I'm just going to look at this. Let's see on my Capture One if I have.
At least we got the photos before.
Yeah,
everything.
no, the photos are. Yeah,
You know?
we took the shots, right? I knew something weird was happening, and just my computer just was like, nope, not doing that. All right, so we're gonna close Capture really fast, okay, and then let's go here, and let's open up Geared Up Short Broad one more time. Make sure that we're talking here. All right, we're going to drag the Capture One thing back into the frame. Actually, I think we're still on the wide shot, aren't we? Oh, my camera's not very happy. So I don't think that we're gonna be shooting the sunglasses shot, which is, I think that's okay. So let's go back to multi-view. Okay, cool. So we're not gonna be able to do the sunglass shot just because. Oh, I have some more questions. Let me ask these before we sign off of this thing. So, how many stops is the fill less than the main? I kind of just did it by feel. I didn't do it with my light meter. But so power level of 5 on a 500 watt light. It's probably a stop and a half less, Dan. I didn't do it I didn't meter it just because I like to kind of get a feel for my fill light more than I like to be super technical with it. So I would say it was about a stop and a half. I don't like it to go too far. I'm definitely not like a 3-to-1 fill to main kind of type person. I like there to be some shadow, but it not to be like overly shadowy. Cool, and then let's see. We've got, just checking everybody. Hey, from Houston, Vietnam in the house, what's up? Sorry if oh, yeah, we are chopping up a little bit. Yeah, we are chopping up a little bit, cool. So, I see, as I'm looking at the questions, I see it. So, that being said, apparently nothing is going very swimmingly for us today, so we're gonna sign this bad boy off. Hopefully, you got some cool information out of this. In the meantime, I hope you have an awesome rest of your week. I'll actually see you next week from Sweden with Geared Up. So we'll see you then. Have an awesome week. Peace out, everybody.